All right, guys, welcome back to another video. Shaman J. Today we're going to be talking about smartphone conversations into the year 2026. Now, we all know that there's going to be a lot of smartphones that drop in the year 2026. Some of them are probably going to shock us, man. I'm hoping and praying for some good smartphones to drop in 2026, some different ones. But the year 2025 brought us a plethora, a boatload of smartphones, but some of them stood out to me. And in no particular order am I going to talk about these phones. I just have a few recommendations. And a lot of times I find myself leaning towards phones that people said were trash. It's just weird to me. But I've already discussed in I think the last previous video I talked about, one before last, one of these last videos I've done about just how good the iPhone Air really is. And so I'm not going to harp on the iPhone Air in this video because I've already recommended it to you. And, you know, either you're on board or you're not, or you're just going to take my word for it, or you're not. Or some of you guys are just going to harp on the price. Like those passerbyers who come by and say the same generic thing they've always been saying since day one. Who's going to pay $1,000 for that? You know, folks, the iPhone Air, I'll say it one more time, is probably one of the best phones that Apple has released in a long time. And I'll leave it at that. Another phone that I think was not controversial. It wasn't as controversial as the iPhone Air, but it got trashed initially. And so I was going to buy it anyway. But having the Galaxy S25 Edge, folks, this phone is absolutely incredible. It seems like all the phones that people seem to say are bad are really good. Like this phone, let's just talk about battery for a second. Everyone's battery usage is going to be different. That's just how it is. There's no getting around it. It is going to be different. But I think like with the Air again, when this phone dropped, people started to use it and say, wait a minute, I know it's super thin or whatever, but the battery is actually really good. So I think when it comes to phones that are going to drop in the coming year, I'm hoping that another one of these phones gets made. I'm really hoping that there's another Galaxy S20 something Edge that comes out. It deserves it. Just right out of the gate, man. This phone, first of all, it has a SIM card tray. That's a sad thing to say, but it has a SIM card tray. And I really hope that, you know, Samsung sticks with the SIM card trays when they bring another version of this phone. And then this body is just so super thin and so nice, sharp on the edges, but still feels better than the phone I'm recording with, the Galaxy S25 Ultra in the hand. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is way more sharp on the corners because it's a lot thicker. And this is a very thin phone right here. Some things that make this phone great are the rear cameras, man. The rear cameras, it has that 200 megapixel camera. In fact, this was the only thing I took with me to the Galaxy Z Fold 7 launch. And I did the entire shoot with this phone. And there were more people in awe of this phone than someone actually had it. All the people at this event were carrying iPhones or they were carrying Galaxy S25 Ultras. Nobody was carrying a Galaxy S25 Edge. In fact, some people were like, "Oh, let me check it out." I'm like, you work for Samsung, right? But there's a lot of contractors there. But even all the Samsung employees, they didn't have an Edge. Why? I don't know. Maybe they don't have to. Maybe it's not a requirement. Maybe they weren't interested. I don't know. But you're missing out on a great phone if you don't at least consider the S25 Edge in 2026. Battery life, screen, cameras, performance, software, hardware, it is all there, folks. I tell you no lies. This is a phenomenal phone. And I think if you have doubts about certain things about it, catch it when it's on sale then. Because you know it's going to go on sale if, in fact, there's a new version of it and the previous generation. So right now, you know, I guess I'll link in the description this phone so you can see where the pricing is currently. But it goes on sale a lot. So just be mindful of that. But this is for sure a phone that I recommend to you in 2026. The Galaxy S25 Edge. There's that beautiful blue color that I got there. It's very nice. That is a great phone. And I also bought the OEM case. I had to. it looks really good, man. It looks really nice. The OEM case is what I actually use on this phone, even though I've gotten a lot of other cases in. Now, another phone that I recommend for you in 2026, even though there's probably going to be a new version that comes out, I got to tell you, I'm surprised that I like this phone so much, and I've already recommended it a bunch of times. But the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL, folks, it is a phenomenal phone. This phone is great, man. And it's not just the moonstone anymore. There's something about this phone. I don't like the polished rails on there. I've never been a person that likes polished rails on phones. I just don't. But I've gotten over it on this phone. If you didn't know, I'm also that person who I don't really care for the skinned icons. But on this phone, I've had it turned on and it's been pretty cool. I like the new look that they're giving you with it. All the icons can be skinned, and I really like that. But all that aside, this phone has killer battery. I mean, killer battery. I've already told you about how I feel about the cameras, the video cameras, I should say. But this video is about recommendations. Folks, this phone has just turned out to be, I swear, I've had it now for 4.5 months. It has turned out to be one of the best things I've done. I remember, typically I go for the smaller Pro version of phones. This has been phenomenal. This has been a great, great phone. Killer battery, beautiful software. Hardware is very impressive. Feels good. You know, I'm using it without a case. Typically I use a lot of phones without cases. This phone right here hasn't been in a case for months. I don't even know. It's been a minute since I put this phone in a case. And I just love the way it looks and everything. I love the way it feels. I love the rounded phones, which is why I tend to lean more towards certain phones. Like the S25 Ultra, I've already let it be known, it's not my favorite in hardware. The Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 7, I chose the Pixel Fold's feel in hand and hardware over the for longevity over the Z Fold 7. But these rounded corner phones are absolutely stunning. So this phone checks a lot of boxes. Software is on point, battery is on point, screen is on point, camera is on point. What more do you want? I know what you want. You want a larger storage option and a better price. And hopefully, Google does something different this year when it comes to producing the latest Pixel phones. I've already said in another video that we need to see a folding Pixel this year. Not the Pixel Fold style, I mean a clamshell style. We already need to see that. We need to see it fast, because right now, I think Samsung is dominating and no one's touching them when it comes to that. That Z Flip 7 is probably the best clamshell phone, in my humble opinion, on the market. And that goes nationwide. I think there's not a lot of clamshell phones that can do what the Z Flip 7 can do and hold that battery and cameras and everything, and just the styling, everything is just perfect on it, in a sense. So, but this phone right here, we need to see a folding version of this. But right now, I highly recommend the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Now, I've been following my Project 13 for years, obviously, but I've been following his coverage because I personally like. Let me get it here. I will not get rid of this because it is actually one of my recommendations. It's one of my recommendations. I just kind of took it off. Yeah, I was charging up a little bit, but I had it over there. I personally recommend this phone still. I will not be picking up the OnePlus 15, and I've been heavy following my Project 13 on his phone review of the OnePlus 15, because he reviews phones like I do. He'll put out 20 videos on one phone, and I love it. I love it. I put out tons of videos on one phone because I want to cover all these different areas and make it possible for you to keep up. That's why I do it. Sometimes I don't want to do a long, drawn-out video, and the latest software update from OnePlus, taking it up to the latest software, has made the OnePlus 13 even more desirable. It's all the more reason why you should get it. I've seen some people saying why they shouldn't get it, but personally, I think this latest update really took this phone to the next level, and I would recommend this as another item in 2026. Now, I never really used to recommend previous generation phones. I didn't do it a lot, but this year, man, seeing as this is what they have to offer, this phone holds its own amongst all of the phones that are coming out right now. And furthermore, OnePlus taking away this Hasselblad agreement, or I guess I should say taking away, ending their Hasselblad agreement. I recommend, and being fair here and honest, I don't have the OnePlus 15. I don't. But I'm following closely to somebody that I trust is going to tell the truth. And that's my Project 13. He purchases pretty much all the same phones I purchase. And sometimes I purchase phones he doesn't purchase, but pretty much we purchase the same phones. And actually I was on the fence about buying the OnePlus 15, but I don't like the new hardware design. I like this design better. And there's no Hasselblad. They took away the alert slider. There's a few things I just don't want to deal with the new OnePlus 15. And after viewing his coverage, again, he's a trusted source to me, him and several other creators, but I consider him a creator. I consider myself a creator. I don't consider us influencers. And I've already gone over that story as to why, but I trust what he's saying about phones. And in a couple of his videos, he said he prefers the OnePlus 15 over the Pixel. And I was like, man, I don't know, man. I think the Pixel did a better job at photos than the OnePlus. Now, where the OnePlus definitely shines a little bit more, the OnePlus 15 that is, and the 13 over all the Pixels is video. He's also done a video side by side with them. Audio is always great on OnePlus. OnePlus does a phenomenal job in general, but I trust him. I think he's a trusted source. If you want honesty, integrity, watch his channel. At least that's the way I feel about him. I don't think he ever gets on video and is being bought by someone, or he's taking paydays to get his point across on stuff. I think him reviewing the OnePlus 15 is the best thing I've been watching so far on the OnePlus 15. And yet and still, I recommend the OnePlus 13 or the Pixel 10 Pro XL over the OnePlus 15 because that Hasselblad is gone. The hardware is following what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? Like, this is eclectic hardware. This thing feels, no case. I bought the OEM case when I bought this over a year ago, but I don't put the OEM case on here. There's really no need. The case, this phone feels like leather. I know it's not real leather, but it feels like it. And you also have that H on there, that Hasselblad. And you can tell because I record sometimes on my car channel with my lovely OnePlus Open. This too is in fact another phone that I recommend in 2026. I know that's hard to believe, but folks, let me tell you, this phone is so good now that it has the latest software update. It was good before, don't get me wrong. However, they have done justice by us by upgrading these phones and software. Did you even know that these phones got an upgrade? They did. They got an update to the latest software. And I recommend both of them in 2026. OnePlus even did us bad and didn't even bring out another version of this phone to the US. I was salty about that. But I will say this. I recommend the OnePlus Open and the OnePlus 13 in 2026. I don't know. So I recommend, it's going to sound crazy because I have the Pixel 10 over there as well, but I recommend you get the 9A. I recommend you get this 9A. I really do. This 9A, folks, it's phenomenal. Sometimes I use this on my Google Fi line. Sometimes I do. Right now, I currently use this. I'm using this for 4.5 months on my Google Fi line. And it's obviously this is the Pixel of choice. However, if I want to go somewhere or something like that and I want a Pixel phone and I don't want to feel like, oh my gosh, I cracked this or whatever, because I don't use a case on this either. Because I love this iris color. This is freaking just beautiful. This should be the thumbnail, right? This should make this a thumbnail. Let's pause for the thumbnail real quick. Google will grab, like when you're recording YouTube, it'll sometimes grab certain parts of the video and it'll make it a thumbnail for you. If not, I'll just grab it myself. But I highly recommend the Google Pixel 9a. It is a fast, fluid phone. And, you know, the weird part is, be quiet. This thing is following, it's listening to me. Gemini is always, I have Gemini also. I'll talk about Gemini in a second, but I highly recommend, I can't say it enough. I highly recommend the Pixel 9a because I would tell you to get a 256 gig version of this because that's what this is. Get a 256 gig, get whatever color you want, and you are going to be pleased with these cameras and this hardware. You are going to be totally happy and you're going to save a lot of money. Trust me when I tell you. Another version of a thumbnail. It's your man Jay. What phones do you recommend based on your personal usage for consumers? These are some of mine. And I'll see you in the next video. Let me know a video idea if you want me to do it. I'll try to fit it in there for you. It's your man Jay. Take care. Pardon me. Sorry for the sniffles.